Imagine a sudden wave cresting out of nowhere, engulfing you in fear. Your heart races, your breath catches, you might feel dizzy or even believe you're having a heart attack. This isn't a scene from a movie, it's the terrifying reality of a panic attack. And for many, the first instinct is to fight it, to push it away, to try and control the uncontrollable. But what if the path to stopping it, fast, lies not in fighting, but in something entirely different? Hello, and welcome. Today we're going to explore how to navigate these overwhelming moments, not by wrestling with them, but by understanding and accepting them. We'll uncover strategies that can help you find calm, even when your world feels like it's spinning out of control. So what exactly is a panic attack? It's a sudden, intense surge of fear that often appears without warning, peaking usually within 10 minutes, and typically lasting between 5 and 20 minutes. The fear is often out of proportion to any actual threat, and it comes with a cascade of physical and psychological symptoms: shortness of breath, chest pain, dizziness, sweating, trembling, nausea, and a feeling of impending doom or loss of control. For some, these attacks become frequent, leading to constant worry about when the next one will strike, which can even lead to avoiding certain places or situations. This is what we call panic disorder. At its core, a panic attack is your body's fight or flight response, a primal survival mechanism, kicking into overdrive when there's no real danger. It's like your internal fire alarm going off, even when there's no fire. Stress hormones like adrenaline flood your system, preparing you to either confront a threat or run from it. But in a panic attack, this incredible system misfires, often triggered by things like prolonged stress, certain health conditions, or even just too much caffeine. Critically, negative thought patterns, things like catastrophizing or being overly sensitive to normal body sensations and misinterpreting them as dangerous, can fuel this panic cycle, making the fear intensify the very symptoms you're trying to escape. And here's where the paradox lies. Our natural human instinct is to resist this unpleasantness. We try to fight the sensations, to suppress the fear, to make it stop. But this very act of fighting can inadvertently reinforce the panic cycle. When you fight, you create tension, amplify the perceived threat, and often prolong the attack. It's like being caught in quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. The key then is a fundamental shift in approach, moving from resistance to acceptance. It's about acknowledging what's happening, reminding yourself that it's temporary and not physically harmful, and allowing the feelings to pass without judgment. This doesn't mean you like what's happening. It simply means you're choosing not to add fuel to the fire by struggling against it. This approach, while counterintuitive at first, empowers you to ride the wave rather than drown in it. So, when a panic attack begins, what can you actually do? Our immediate goal is to gently redirect your focus and regulate your nervous system. First, breathing techniques are incredibly powerful. When we panic, we tend to hyperventilate, taking shallow, rapid breaths. This actually increases carbon dioxide, which can worsen symptoms. Try slow, deep, diaphragmatic breathing. One simple method is 4-7-8 breathing. Breathe in through your nose for a count of 4, hold your breath for a count of 7, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 8. Repeat this a few times. This helps signal to your body that you're safe and can begin to calm the nervous system.
Next, grounding techniques can bring you back to the present moment. Panic often pulls you into fearful thoughts about the past or future. A classic grounding exercise is the 5-4-3-2-1 method. Identify 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, like your feet on the ground or the texture of your clothes, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This actively engages your senses and pulls your focus away from internal fear. Another simple but effective grounding technique is to splash cold water on your face or wrists. This physiological response can act as a shock to the system, helping to reset your immediate focus. Or simply focus on the sensation of your feet on the ground, feeling their connection to the earth beneath you. Mindfulness and acceptance are crucial here. As the panic sensations arise, acknowledge them without judgment. Say to yourself, okay, this is a panic attack. It feels intense, but it will pass, and it can't harm me. Remind yourself that these are just sensations, not true threats. Allow them to be there, like clouds passing in the sky. Self-talk and mantras can also be surprisingly effective. Repeating reassuring statements like, "This will pass," "I am safe," or "I can handle this," can help reframe catastrophic thoughts and anchor you in a more realistic perspective. Finally, sensory distraction can interrupt the panic cycle. This means engaging a strong sense to shift your focus. For example, if you carry a small bottle of an essential oil, take a deep sniff. Or try tasting something strong like a sour candy to jolt your senses back into the present. A very important note: many symptoms of a panic attack, like chest pain or a racing heart, can mimic serious medical conditions. If this is your first panic attack, or if you're ever uncertain about your symptoms, it's always best to seek medical attention to rule out any physical causes. Your health and safety are paramount. While these immediate strategies are vital for navigating the moment, true lasting change often comes from long-term management. This isn't just about stopping an attack, but about reducing their frequency and severity over time. Psychotherapy, particularly cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, is a gold standard. CBT helps you identify your triggers, challenge those catastrophic thoughts that fuel panic, and develop robust coping skills. Often, exposure therapy, a component of CBT, gently helps you face feared sensations or situations, gradually reducing avoidance. In some cases, medication can play a role. Antidepressants like SSRIs or SNRIs are often prescribed for long-term management, reducing the frequency and intensity of attacks. Benzodiazepines, on the other hand, offer rapid short-term relief for acute symptoms, but they are used cautiously due to the risk of dependence and are generally reserved for very specific short-term situations. It's important to discuss the pros and cons of medication with a healthcare professional, understanding that sometimes medication and therapy work best together. Beyond clinical interventions, lifestyle changes are profoundly impactful. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, consistent stress management techniques like yoga or meditation, and avoiding stimulants like excessive caffeine and nicotine as well as alcohol can significantly lower your risk of panic attacks. Connecting with others through support groups can also provide invaluable validation and shared coping strategies.
The journey of managing panic attacks is not about eliminating fear entirely, but about changing your relationship with it. It's about learning that you are capable of riding the wave, even when it feels overwhelming, without fighting against its powerful current. By understanding the root causes, applying immediate acceptance-based strategies, and committing to long-term self-care and professional support, you can reclaim your sense of safety and calm. Remember, you are not alone in this, and help is available. Embrace the power of acceptance, practice these techniques, and give yourself the grace and patience you deserve. With each conscious breath and each moment of grounded awareness, you build resilience and take another step towards a life where panic no longer dictates your path.